evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you guys can hear me. I guess that is a yes. I need to shut off a light. Look, this looks funny, guys. First of all, I want to welcome you guys to this evening Zoom, and it might be a little bit difficult for you guys to hear me because my connection is bad. So if it starts breaking up, I will simply take away the video. I also have a backup on the line, just so you guys know. Henry is online as another host here. So you don't get connected away from today's Zoom, because I think we are all as excited as me. This Zoom will be interesting. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure to have Scott Lomu on from Digr. Okay? I think if you are like me, you have experienced something that is simply mind-blowing. I was on the line yesterday. Hi, guys, from UK and Spain and all over. I see you here. I see you, Patrick, Gavin, and everyone. I've been also in calls today to Australia. Guys, people are so happy. That's what it's all about. They are so happy to finally see something that is real. They are happy to see something that they truly believe in, and people are super excited. Don't you agree? I think everyone up with the thumbs if you agree with me. It is simply crazy how people are feeling about this business. And I want to remind you with that yesterday we had Give on the line, correct? I mean, when you also can give, because I believe that you need to give in order to get. That's the true meaning of network marketing, guys. That's how I see it. It needs to be built so you can give something forward, something good. And what is better than that to actually be able to give additional value to people? Create a real additional value through nodes. I think more and more when we are following this, I think you as me starts to understand more what kind of possibilities here are. Now it is up to us, ladies and gentlemen, to be responsible and to learn in order to do it in the best way. Don't you agree? That is something that that's what I'm feeling very strong for, that we can do it in the right way. Now, I just was on a call also to US with a few others, and guys, this will be insane. The news I got for how you can qualify in the Winwheel, write it up. We've been speaking about, that you maybe might be able to, do something fractionally, correct? When you guys get the news on what has been agreed upon by tomorrow, okay, you guys will smile even bigger, because they actually agreed to something really crazy with the Forex. Look forward to that. How would it be if you could, benefit, 100% towards it, that would be cool, wouldn't it? So, keep the ears open, the eyes open over the next 24 hours, guys, because I saw again the proof that everybody wants to give the best. You guys understand what I mean? This is not a cash grab, and that made me so happy, because I saw that every single one involved is very much dedicated to giving us the best thing that they can, the best value out of it. And today is another example of that. We have Scott Lomu here, I hope. Scott, can you put your hands up? And I'm looking forward to see your presentation, and you tell about yourself. What is Digr and who are you? That will be very interesting to listen into. Thank you. I will leave the ball to you.
Yes, very excited. I'm glad, man. There's a lot of you guys on today. This is crazy. I'm very, very excited to be a part of this group with all the other blockchain projects that are going on. It's very humbling and an honor to be a part of this and to be able to work with you guys. So just a brief background on me. So about 10 or 11 years ago, I got involved in the gold mining world, and I was mining mostly in Africa. So I was in the country of Ghana for several years, mining gold and doing the best I could, as a rookie gold miner, not having a lot of experience doing it. And at that time, the real estate market had crashed, here in the United States and worldwide, and we were looking for a way to to get back in the game. And the opportunity of gold mining came along, and I had never gold mined before. I'd heard of a group of guys out here in the United States that were going to Africa and buying gold and trying to, buy low and sell high. So we said, hey, let's go out to Ghana. So we went out to Africa and we started gold mining. And in the process of learning how to gold mine, somebody had heard about us and said, hey, look, there's a couple of guys from the United States. They don't know what they're doing, but they're gold mining out in Africa, and they've never even been to Africa. And so somebody had called Discovery Channel, and they said, hey, you need to go see these guys. So Discovery Channel actually flew out to Africa and saw my partner and I, and they watched us for about a week. They followed us with a camera, everything we were doing. And at the end of the week, one of the producers said, all right, I've been filming all over the world. I've seen a whole bunch of stuff, but I've never seen anything like this. And one of you is going to die, and we want to get it on camera. And that's basically the way it went. And so shortly following that experience, they sent a crew out, and they started to record my partner and I, and they created a TV show called Jungle Gold. And Jungle Gold was just the adventures of my partner and I trying to figure out how to make money for our families in gold mining. And we were doing, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just following the lead of the local miners telling us what to do, what equipment we had to buy. So we're getting investors, and all of our follies and all of our trial and error are, unfortunately for us, well documented on Discovery Channel. And so that started our gold mining adventure. And in that process, we realized that there's a lot of downside to gold mining. Number one, it's expensive. Number two, it's very dangerous. Number three, it's very harmful to the environment. But when you're in Africa, there's a lot of these villages, because the gold is just out in the middle, of the bush. And there's all these villages, but all the villagers, they want the gold miners to come because they make money, even if it means they have to tear up their cocoa crops, they have to, strip the land and do all these harmful things. They want the gold miners there simply because it brings in some revenue, even if it's short-sighted. And so there's a lot of unscrupulous gold miners out there from all over the world, and they would go out there and just destroy the land, mine illegally, and do all these really bad things. So I was involved in the gold mining space in Ghana specifically for about 5 years. And if you want to find out why we're not there anymore, you can Google Jungle Gold and find out all the bad things that led to our quick demise in the gold mining world. And so I got back, and other opportunities came up. I had a chance to do some gold mining in the Amazon out in a country called Guyana in South America. So my partner and I went there, and the same thing is happening there, where the gold is you're tearing down the rainforest, you're digging up the gold, you're polluting the rivers, and it's just a very unsustainable way to do gold mining. And so through that experience, and then we moved operations back here to the United States, where we were gold mining in Nevada and Arizona, and we were working on projects out there. And all the while, we're looking at the cost and the time and all of the things that are the negative to gold mining, because everybody wants gold. Everybody wants to, they feel like they have to get gold and stick it in a vault, and it's a safe bet against inflation and against, currencies. And all this is true. But the downside and what it takes to actually get gold out of the ground is a major, major problem. So when my gold mining days, finally came to an end, some partners and I were just thinking that there's got to be a better way. And at about that time, a lot of gold-backed crypto coins, we were starting to see them appear on the market. Okay. But usually what's done is that people would say, okay, I've got a whole bunch of gold here, and I'm going to put it in a vault, and I'm going to release this coin. And so it's going to be this gold-backed coin, and all the gold is sitting in a vault over here in, Switzerland. and every coin that we mint is going to be backed by, a specific amount of gold. And we started looking at that going, well, this is an interesting concept. So what happens if that person wants to actually cash out their gold? And so we started researching all these companies. Well, come to find out, 90% of all the companies that came onto the market that just released a coin, they did what's called an ICO, an initial coin offering. They release a coin, they mint it, they sell the coin, and they say, oh, it's backed by gold. Most of them were a scam and are out of business. And we started looking in, okay, did people actually get their money back? Were they able to cash in on the gold? And the answer is emphatically no, they didn't. They were not able to actually, even though they said it was gold backed.
Correcto mondo. We all been seeing it. We all been seeing
exactly.
it.
Absolutely.
So what happened from that, if I can tell you? Can you tell us what have you done since that? Because I already know what is coming. Can you tell us how have you solved it?
So we started thinking there has to be a better way, not only better gold mining, but to have a better product. And so when I heard of this group, with all the blockchains that they have, the success, they've had with Green and Give and all these others, we thought this is the place to create a gold-backed opportunity. And when I met with these guys, it was the biggest no-brainer. I looked at the projects that they did. I looked at their history. I looked at that every blockchain that they had a purpose. It had something behind it, not just let's create a coin. And so we sat down and we developed this amazing concept of Digr. And Digr stands for Digital In-Ground Reserves. So what the idea is, because I had to sit there, I had to think about my past experience of harming the land and ruining some of these villages. And so we thought, okay, what if we did a gold-backed coin, but we left the gold in the ground? Now, this is a concept that people have a hard time with, because they go, wait, hold on. How am I going to access it? No.
That's the point. You don't need to access it. It's already in the vault.
Exactly. It's in the safest vault in the world.
Yes, it's in the mountain.
Exactly. And it's safe. It's never going to come out of the ground. But the value can come out of the ground by digitizing the gold.
Of course.
So if you
Scott, have you invented this yourself, or is it a big team behind?
This was the idea of a lot of guys that we're currently working with, a lot of guys that you guys already know.
It's crazy, Scott, and I see the devastation, I'm living in Thailand, and I see the opal mining, I see the rubies, it's guys, it's cyanide even in it, to purify and it goes straight into the rivers and into the ground, and these mud holes in Africa where they are mining. I mean, it's people are developing cancer, they are developing disease. So how well doesn't this fit with Switch and with Give and with all the other ones?
Exactly. It fits so perfectly because we have a purpose. Our purpose is to own the mining rights in these little villages, but never pull it out of the ground. Now we get to benefit the villagers. So if I go into a village and I buy the mining rights, they still benefit financially from those mining rights, but we use some of the proceeds from the Digr, from the Digr company, from the node sales, and we benefit that community. We build water wells, we teach them sustainable farming, we build schools, we do all these things, and we bring them into this ecosystem.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, Scott. So now an 18-year-old boy in the village in Africa who's never had an opportunity before can now be brought into the digital age. He can be a node owner. So he can be digitally mining in his village in the middle of nowhere and saving his village.
Unbelievable, Scott. And all on a smart contract, I assume.
Exactly. Of course. Yeah. All on a smart contract. And it's a way for us to still, when you decentralize and you give the power back to the people, it allows them, because some of these countries are a little bit corrupt, right? And it's hard.
A little bit, yes. A little bit.
It's hard for some of these companies to make it out. But when you make it out, and we're working for it, right? By running the nodes and doing the work required to earn your reward, there's a sense of pride. There's a sense of this isn't a handout, because a lot of these companies will come into the villages, give them stuff, and then leave. But we're coming into these villages and giving them an opportunity to create wealth for their families and to actually work for it, because the hardest workers I've ever seen on earth are in these villages in Africa. They make almost nothing. They work all day. So why don't we help them work smarter? Why don't we help bring them into the digital age? Why don't we help them to create
Wow.
wealth for their family? And so,
Wow.
and at the same time, save the village. So we do this in Africa. We do this in South America. We even do it here in the United States, because by digitizing the gold, okay, it creates value. It still allows you to have that value of gold in digital currency. So for our node owners, it's the same thing. You're by buying a Digr node and participating in this ecosystem that we've created, you can know that you are creating wealth for yourself, and you're doing good. You are helping these people in these marginalized communities who are outside of this global economy. And you are
and saving the environment at the same time,
exactly.
because it is a catastrophe. Mining in
That
itself,
exactly.
for only the purpose of putting it in a vault, is madness, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's that is exactly what you said right there is the purpose of Digr. It is madness. Yeah. You do not need to do it. The store of wealth can be held within the coin, the reward that you're earning from the node. So yeah,
I want to say something on this, Scott, because it just so happens that one of my good friends and business partner is the CEO of the largest privately held bank in Laos, and they have a lot of mining, and exactly these things I've been running into. And I want the members on the call to understand this, that today it is possible to know very closely how much gold is in the ground. You do not need to peck in the dark, guys. So that's why I said it is today madness of mining something for the sole purpose of putting it in the vault, when you, like Scott says, you can have the mining right to it. Exactly. And protect it by not digging it up.
That's exactly right. And so we've been working with a company that has technology where you can scan the ground. So they have it's a satellite, and it'll scan the ground and tell you what's in the ground. So yes, you can know with absolute certainty what is in the ground. It's not a guess. There's no guessing work involved. So we know and we're working on multiple projects right now with gold mines in Arizona, in Ghana, in Guyana, in Nevada. And so we know what's there. We know what's in the ground. And so we can tell you, look, there is a store of value in the ground, and it's going to stay there. And it's in the many, 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 many billions of dollars.
Can I say something that is so brilliant? It's not only that, guys, that you protect the planet. You know what is so brilliant, guys, on this call is that it's actually cheaper for you to obviously secure a value like that. You do not need to plan it, dig it, clean it up. So you actually have no cost in even, putting even the shovel in the ground.
Brilliant. It's exactly right. And as long as you control the mining rights and you own the mine, it's there. The value's there. Exactly. You do not need to dig it up. And also, what it also does is it helps the value of gold go up. Because if you're not bringing it out of the ground and putting it into the market and flooding the market, it helps keep the price of gold high, which is great. But it keeps the gold safe where it's at, and it does not need to. Once you have the concept of you can digitize the gold and keep it in the ground, it's brilliant. And it's really, that's why we're confident that the purpose that we have to save these villages and these mines all over the world, but also just to start digitizing gold, we're going to revolutionize the gold industry, and it starts with Digr. Any other questions?
How long have you guys been working on this, did you say?
So we have been working on it for quite a while, as far as putting the concept together. What we've been working on now is with the gold scanning technology and securing all the gold claims. So there's a lot of work in the background that has to be in place before we officially launch Digr. But it's all good stuff. It's all the gold mines and the of course doing all the contracts. But it's and we've been very well received. And when we talk about this concept, it takes a lot to go into a village and convince somebody you don't need to pull the ground up, and that there's a better benefit by keeping it in the ground. And so it definitely has taken some mind shift with a lot of the people that we're working with. But once they get it, once it clicks, it's a very smooth, quick process. And so, yeah, we're getting ready to start launching our node. But again, when you have that node, work that node. Make sure you're earning your digital rewards, and also know that by doing so, you're doing a lot of good in the world, and we'll be leading the forefront on the digital world age, gold age, and also in doing a lot of good.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
Because it was flashing in my brain that if I believe in the project, I want to participate, I get my node, I activate it, I run it, obviously, I mint rewards and so on. Now, what I understand is you told me that you are already having several projects in the pipeline.
Yep.
Is it correct assumed that by participating in this project, you will all the time add value to securing more of these?
Oh, yeah. So we have 4 now, and we're looking at the largest unmined gold mine in the world down north of Tucson, Arizona. So they have a report called a 43101, which is kind of the traditional way to value what's in the ground. And this 43101 report shows that there's over $1 trillion of in-ground assets, not just gold. It's gold, it's silver, it's copper. It's because Digr isn't just gold. That's where we originated, but it's all in-ground assets. And we are constantly working on more projects. Our goal as a company is to digitize all the gold in the world. And so we have a specific team member that we've brought on, a guy named David, and he is specifically in charge of gold mine acquisition. That's all he does all day. He is out there, and it's all over the world. He's looking at one right now in the Congo. With some of our other partners have access to one of the largest, like the 3rd or 4th largest producing. It's a producing active gold mine, and we want to buy the rest of their rights because they've got a ton of acreage that they haven't mined yet, and we want to digitize it so that it doesn't get mined. So the Congo, Arizona, all over where we have a team that's looking in other areas where we're trying to find areas where we can have the most impact. And that tends to be South America. There's some in the Philippines and in Africa, because those are the areas that get really taken advantage of and where it's doing the most harm to the environment and to the people. But at the same time, remember, it's a twofold. It's digitizing and securing the gold, but it's bringing these marginalized communities into the digital world. We want to give power to those people who traditionally would never get it. And so now they can run it, they can run nodes, they can start earning their rewards and be independent of some of these governments where they will never have a fighting chance. The hierarchy of how gold mine works is the government gets their cut, the landowner, the mine owner, the cocoa, and the guy at the bottom gets nothing, but he takes all the harm. He's the one whose drinking water is full of mercury and his cocoa crop has been demolished, but he gets nothing out of it. And so now this opportunity allows them to come into this digital world, and we're gonna make some people mad, but we love it.
Can I ask you another question that came to my mind here when you were explaining? And actually, we mentioned it through my question before, because when you don't dig it out from the ground, you still have a kilo price of gold, as an example, or ounce, or however you want. What is the formula? In between, what kind of numbers are we talking that is more profitable to do it in your way, even though you are giving away the value for the community around? You are saving the environment on top of it, but what's the formula? Because I'm interested about that, because it has to be a good business, correct?
It does, yeah. And so, typically the cost to pull gold out of the ground, depending on what type of mining you're doing. So if it's placer mining, you can get it out of the ground for 40% of what a kilo costs. If it's hard rock mining, it's more like 50 to 60%. So we take off the cost of the mining. So let's just say, so right now an ounce of gold USD is $1,800 today. So we value that and we say, okay, because we don't have to pull it out of the ground. There's no mining. So you're going to take $900 off of it. So we say we value the in-ground asset minus the production cost and a little bit more. So we're trying to be a little bit more generous. So, so let's just say $1,800 today. We would say that the value of the gold in the ground, because we don't have the cost to pull it up, we don't say, oh yeah, it's worth $1,800. Well, it's not really worth $1,800 an ounce if it costs you $900 to pull it out. So the formula that we use is we subtract out the mining cost and plus 10%. So we'll say that the value of each ounce in the ground is probably more like $750, right? Because if we had to pull it out, which we don't want to, don't want to harm, that's what you'd be left with after your mining costs. So when you do the math, we're looking at each ounce at about $750 worth of value. But when we have multiple gold mines with billions, one of the mines that we're trying to cut a deal with right now down in Arizona has a 43-101 report that has 6 billion, and that is one of many projects that we have. So we have hundreds of billions of dollars in in-ground assets, even after you factor out the cost to actually pull it out of the ground, if that ever had to happen, which it won't. It's still billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of in-ground assets to support this node. It's phenomenal.
I simply love it. I simply love it because I love numbers, and 40 to 60% in cost of pulling it out. What happens when you put that one into something good and profit for people being part of the noding?
That's right.
That's pretty interesting.
Exactly. So we love our project because of the good that it does, but because of the, and gold is only getting higher in value. And with what's happening with inflation, with economies all around the world, gold is only going up. And so we love the fact that we've got this backing our project. We're not a stable coin or anything like that, but the fact that we've got these assets on the books is very, comforting we hope that's comforting to our node owners, knowing that we control billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of gold to back this project.
that should be quite a start, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What is the timeline, Scott? What is the timeline for being up and running and securing and getting it on smart contracts and so on?
We are going to be pre-selling the Digr nodes imminently within a couple weeks, and so that's going to be happening immediately. The pre-sale, the node will be ready. I'd say within the last time I talked to the development team, it's no more than a month or so out, maybe 2 months, and then we can start mining. But we're pre-selling. We're going to be pre-selling here in the next week or so, and people are lining up because they want those early nodes.
I believe you, sir.
Know how this works.
I believe you, sir.
The early adopters, the ones who get their nodes going first, are earning the most rewards. And so we got a lot of people very, very interested in doing a lot of pre-ordering.
I would say it feels pretty comforting to know that we have one node called Switch and one node called the Digr and another called Green and a Blue and a Liberty and a Give and.
Well, and there's some really good crossover between us as well. Like, for example, Liberty, we get these veterans, and they're the ones who go out to South America and Africa because they know how to win the hearts and the minds of the people.
Yes, and some of them been there even in the army. They've been there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, some of the guys we were talking to when we were telling them about the Africa project, they're very excited because they've worked there before and they know people. And they like to go back, and these are guys who are so good at creating relationships with the chief and with the government, and doing all these things that allow Digr to operate freely, and it's just great because we get to work and with Give. So you have Give. That's a big part of, we want them to be a big part of because they're out there to help people. Liberty, we want to use some of their people, and so there's some good crossover. We just feel like it's just the best way to go, to use some of the assets of these other blockchains and work together as much as we can.
Yeah, I see a lot of crossovers, and it's been simply blowing my mind what has become available to normal people. to participate in what is going to happen next. We all know that banking is outdated. We all know that mining is also outdated. That's why it's so much polluting, because they're using the cheapest way to get it out of the ground, and without any kind of respect to the nature, because they can't afford it. Because they're not paid the top dollar for the gold like in Philippines and Africa and so on. They're getting very poorly paid, correct?
Absolutely. And a quick story, we hire all the villages. When I used to mine in Ghana, we'd hire all the villages, and they're just doing what they know how to do. I saw this young boy, when we gathered up the gold, it comes in like there was like a little a ball of gold, and to separate out, to make sure all the gold gets, attracted to each other, they use mercury. And so I saw this boy.
Yes.
He put the gold in a handkerchief and dunked the mercury in, and then you twist it to get them to separate the mercury out. And then he stuck the ball in his mouth and spit the mercury out. And I was just horrified. I couldn't believe it. And I said, never again. This has to be done differently. And so now I look back on my experience in Africa, and also, if you guys know the TV show Gold Rush, one of the biggest shows on Discovery Channel, Todd Hoffman was a star of that show. He's on board with us, and so he's going to help us do projects in Alaska because he wants to save the tundra. But so Todd and I sat down together. He flew out here, and we talked about what's going on in the mining world and the good that we can do, but with the platform that we have, because I'm on record, I'm on TV doing the bad mining, and so this is kind of my repentance process and my evolution, and there has to be a better way. So for me, it's kind of come full circle to where I was out there doing the mining. And now because of this amazing organization and because of the blockchain technology they developed, I get to go back into these communities and do some good and make sure that the type of mining that I was guilty of, that I participated in, that I can repair that through the Digr blockchain. This blockchain is phenomenal. All the people here are incredible, and I'm grateful that I have this chance to circle back around and to do something very, very good by bringing more power to the people, by bringing them into the blockchain, and by saving their communities. It's just a real blessing. It truly is. I look back on my mining days. I spent years there, and sometimes I used to ask myself, what was it all for? I was away from my family. It was dangerous. I got shot at. We got chased out of the country, all these things. And all of a sudden, this opportunity comes back, and it's just been so humbling. And I'm just so full of gratitude that it allows me to participate in helping these people. I thought I was helping them the first time by helping mine in their communities, but it wasn't true. I was helping me. Now I get to truly go back and help them. And everybody that participates in the Digr blockchain, know this: you are doing a lot of good. You are helping people all over the world in these marginalized communities to bring them into this blockchain. It's not just for the 1%. It's not just for the rich. The blockchain is for everybody. And it's such a humbling opportunity to be involved with it.
Can I ask something about that? Because this
Sure.
is really, it's mind-blowing, and it's so informative. And I know you did your homework. I don't need to ask that. A question is the following: with these, these mining rights and so on, will they be, imprinted on the blockchain, or how does it work?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that as far as so there's a couple different things with that. The mining rights, yes, and so it'll be implemented into the blockchain because we have to own those rights. And so
I understand that it's more complicated than my question, and it gets gets very detailed, but with the legalities, and this company needs to hold it with even 51% in some countries of the government. I mean, I understand that, but my question was not that technical, because then we get technical.
Yeah, there are a lot of people with a lot of law degrees working on those things, way above my pay grade on how to do that. Even with the verification process, we're working on a program right now to where the users, right, you guys who own the node blockchain, with this proof of work concept, you can verify, you can help us. So we have this gold scanning technology, right? It goes out, it scans the ground, it tells us what's in the ground, but the users can help verify that. We're trying to put together some ideas, based on some of the other concepts with some of the other blockchains we have. We're thinking, okay, how cool would it be if each user got to verify a piece of that gold mine, through the blockchain. So however it works, however the developers, however the legal team figure it out, but each user gets to verify those, small pieces of each gold mine. We're still thinking that part through, but yes, the ownership rights, the mining, that will all be on the blockchain. So how
will it
that's
also
done,
be on the blockchain?
Yes.
Yeah, Scott, sorry for the connection is breaking up. So guys on this call, if it seems that I'm interrupting, it's not by purpose. Okay. So I hope that you didn't get interrupted by me, Scott.
No problem. No, you're good.
Okay. Now, is it the same with the offsetting or the goodwill, so to say, that goes into the communities? Is that also imprinted on the blockchain?
Yeah, we're thinking of ways to do that as well. Imprint it on the blockchain, because it's a little unorthodox.
But okay, that's maybe the wrong technical term even, but I mean, is it a smart contract on it in some kind of way?
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, it was a bad question, same as the legal part of it. I actually should have understood better. I'm an educated lawyer. Okay. So that was why. Thank you, Scott. I think we have got much more out of this call than anybody expected. Even if we were very excited about it, personally at least, yes, because it just opened, it blew my mind even more. Because just by hearing digitally indexed, and understanding what you were wanting to do and seeing how you actually do it, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I wonder how come that nobody did it before, because governments and these human rights organizations, Greenpeace, whoa, they will love you.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. People have been trying it, but it wasn't until I got with these guys that we said, why can't we do this and this and this? And we had the benefit of looking at what other people had done and why they failed. And so when you add the purpose behind it and you realize that it never needs to leave the ground, and that's a concept that people have a hard time accepting, but when it clicks and you realize it never needs to leave the ground, it's a game changer. So
it is truly a game changer. And the community that is, and the infrastructure created by Connect is simply mind-blowing, and what can keep on being added over the months, years. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you believe, guys, in crypto, if you believe in blockchain, if you believe in a better world where we are not because of greed or only capitalistic reasons and stupidity, then I think this is the right place to be. I am very proud to have been, listening into your story and seeing what you want to do.
Thank you.
True pleasure. Anything more that you would like to say to the members?
No, that's all. I'm just I'm grateful to be a part of this, and hope to work with you guys in the future. And any help, any questions you have, reach out. I'd love to. I actually had a big prepared slide presentation, but we started talking. I thought, no, it's so much better just to talk. And
can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor, Scott? Can you shoot that over to me, that presentation? Because I will cut this video. I will, make it, and I will put the slides on it, because I am 100% everything came.
Excellent.
So the members won't miss anything. They will get it cut with that, with the slides, with the texts and so on. And thank you so much for your time.
Excellent.
So if you could make sure that I get that deck, and then we are fine.
Absolutely. You got it. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Scott.
Bye.
Thank you, Scott. So guys, what do you guys think about that? Can you please open your cameras if you will? How did you like this? Because I must say I like it a lot. Okay, I see people smiling. I am simply, my brain is boiled after all of these things. It is, if I didn't know that it's real, I wouldn't believe it. Okay, because it is crazy how just thinking, turning, thinking outside the box can be a total game changer. And I can tell you guys, like I said, I was just on a call I was just on a call before with Connect, with a few people there, where we were discussing how to not create panic tomorrow. Okay, because I said to them that do not in any case open every function at the same time, because then we're going to have a chaos. I've been on calls today, guys, with people that have 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 100,000, I don't know what, that just wants to onboard directly. So we will have now discussions still tonight, guys, on how to switch on tomorrow. You guys understand? How do we do it in a not chaotic manner? I asked them to please, guys, because I need to communicate. I need to do directly the webinars with you guys to show you guys how things work so we don't get lost. Is that something that we all understand? Okay. So once I know this, I will start posting, get ready that you guys get information when to be on what call. I have seen seen the Winwheel, the back office, all is running smoothly there. It's tested, all is ready to go. Okay. I also know that we have nodes that we want to distribute. Now, hold on, guys, because we need to now follow simple instructions. You guys will get instructions, let's say every 3 hours, every 6 hours, and so on. Do this step, do this step, do this step. Because if you don't do that, guys, you're going to have a headache. Believe me, something will go wrong. It's two systems that needs to, speak to each other. That will slowly over time, over the next months, become one system. So you guys understand that in only a few weeks, they haven't been able to build, a seamless system. That's pretty, pretty clear to understand, correct? So we have two systems that needs to go into each other. Winwheel, Connect. We become Connect tomorrow, okay? We are in the Connect then. So we will start switching on what I have understood. They will give us the timeline. And watch the Telegram now, and also in the private leadership groups. Follow it so you know that, okay, this is when what happens. Very important now. And we will start then to open up the system. And I can tell you guys, it's looking very beautiful, the back office also. It is a huge upgrade, and also the compensation plan. And what I said before, did you listen into that? You will be extremely happy for what the 500 times rebuy will do. Okay, we've been speaking about fractional nodes before and so on. We've been speaking about bundling. When you get this information I just got in the next hours and within tomorrow, when we open, you will scream. You will be happy. Okay, you will say thank you, because it's more fair than I ever thought it could ever be. Okay, it is so good. So you will be proud to be a Winwheel member. You will be proud to be part of Connect. I think you are already, but even more so. So that's all that I have for now, guys, for you. Please, questions that you have, up, okay, to the upline. And you guys that are in direct contact in my groups, so and I know most of you, if not all, you will get your answers. Just ask. Okay? Can we do it like that? Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you can do it like that. Brilliant. Guys, it's getting very close, okay? It's getting very close. So I hope I get to sleep before it gets that close. Because here it is now, soon 11 p.m. I'm going to cut this, put slideshow on top of it so you guys have something for the longer time to, look at. And then we will be ready to go, and I am looking forward. And again, guys, I'm sorry for being so excited. If somebody felt that I was interrupting Scott, I don't believe he felt that. My internet connection hasn't been the best. And believe me, he's excited. We are excited. That guy knows what he does. Believe me, he knows what he does. I asked the right questions, guys. Believe me, I did my homework. See you tomorrow. See you on the top. A good night to you. Love you all. Bye.